shark, grateful shark, grateful shark. Let's go hunt, let's go hunt, let's go hunt, let's go hunt. Run away, run away.
We're going to go on a walk. Hello, is this all on? I dropped the camera on the walk. The lens isn't quite working. The microphone kind of popped off a little bit, but I hope it still works. This is, gosh, come on. You can do it, you can do it. I need to take a photo, but sorry camera. I think I got it to work. Hey! You, not the viewer, well maybe the viewer too, but the camera, you the camera, are very durable. Alright, day 75, Deuteronomy 21, 22, and 23. There are so many random, miscellaneous, various laws in these 3 chapters that I don't even know where to begin. Stuff from, you look out, after you watch out for your brother's stuff if he loses it, to laws of sexual immorality. There's just so much happening here. It's kind of tricky to boil it all down to one point, but I think we can do that. In chapter 21, it opens up with making atonement for the land if they find a dead person in the open country, but they have no clue what happened to that person. Then there's instructions of marrying female captives when Israel takes over a people. The right of the firstborn, even if the firstborn is born to one of multiple wives of whom is not the favorite by the husband. Dealing with rebellious children, which, by the way, they stoned. Like they killed, stoned.
Or does God die on the cross for us?
You know what? God dies on the cross for us, and that correlates exactly with the end of chapter 21 in Deuteronomy, because it talks about how a man hanging on a tree is cursed. And Jesus was cursed for you and I so that we could have the ultimate blessing from God of eternal life and being right with Him. Then chapter 22 opens up with random various laws such as, helping your neighbors. What else here? A man is not to wear woman's clothes and a woman is not to wear man clothes. Specific laws about the kind of roof you're meant to have on your house. All kinds of just random stuff. And then the last half of the chapter deals with sexual immorality. All kinds of deviant sexual relationships that man is not meant to have. Yeah, it's a big truck, huh?
Yeah.
And then chapter 23 has tons of different miscellaneous laws in it. Certain people, because of a certain physical ailment. The alarm went off when that truck drove by. That's funny. Certain people with physical ailments couldn't gather in the assembly. Certain people groups would not be allowed to gather. So it just talks about those who are allowed to gather in the assembly of God and those who are not. Dealing with certain uncleanness within the camp. Justice, come over here. Things like no prostitution, no ratting out a slave if he is escaping from his master, depending on certain circumstances. I'm gonna blow some bubbles right now. Not exacting interest from your brother on anything. eating grapes off your neighbor's vineyard. Like I said, a lot of random stuff here. It's kind of hard to draw one particular thing out from all of these different things taking place. So, once again, the big thing here in these chapters, in reading it, I think is in chapter 21, verses 22 through 23, where it talks about how every man that hangs on a tree is cursed. And what they would do back then is if someone was, broke the law, or they made a serious offense, they would take their body and hang it on a tree as an example or a symbol to the people that you don't want to be like this guy. And this obviously is talked about in terms of Christ. And we want to be like Christ, but it's the idea that Christ took on the curse that we deserve as he died on the cross. And in Galatians 3:13, this section in Deuteronomy is actually quoted. And it talks about how Christ was cursed for our sake. And then, you even think about the crucifixion story, and I think the epitome of being cursed is really when Jesus cries out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" And it's this idea that God has removed relationship with someone, and that really is the ultimate cursing. And you and I, that's what we deserve, but Jesus, he took on that curse for you and I so that we could have eternal life. And so it's just a beautiful reminder of the gospel that Christ, he was cursed so that we could be blessed in the Lord. And what a wonderful thing that is to receive from God.